If you're carrying extra weight, well then the first performance enhancement that you want to do is get rid of the weight. Then worry about all the athletic programs that you can do. Hey guys, welcome to another Morris Method conversation today. Coming to you all about a discussion and a conversation around if you currently go to the gym every single week, maybe not every single day, but you're very consistent, or you're out there training to do some sort of endurance event, running, cycling, triathlons, just to name a few, and you're doing all this training, but you still can't seem to grasp any sort of weight loss. So just take a think about training and endurance training in particular as well. All you're doing is exerting a certain amount of energy, okay? So exercise in itself is where we're going to be requiring to recruit in energy that your body's going to be using. Hence, we burn calories or burn kilojoules throughout the session. Doesn't it kind of shock you sometimes when not only can you do all this crazy training and all this a huge amount of volume, but yet sometimes we still can't lose any weight? We're doing all this extra work in the gym, but yet we still can't lose that bit of belly that we have, or that bit of fat around the thighs that we just can't seem to get rid of. So the general information that we hear out there, particularly within the fitness industry, is just you've got to eat less and move more, which is kind of the famous words that you'll hear a lot of personal trainers and a lot of people like kind of spit out, which is basically putting that back on you as a personality flaw, that you've eaten too much and you've been becoming too much of a sloth, meaning that you're too lazy. In essence, that's a completely wrong way to go about weight loss. This is a big trap that a lot of people get into. Like if you go to the gym, and I've been within gyms within the last decade, and I was one of these people myself, is that you can go to the gym and you can see someone rocking up there every single day and they still can't lose any weight. Now, unfortunately, I was one of these people as well. I was teaching classes, teaching spin classes, like in excess of 10, 15 plus classes a week. Big combination of weights, combination of aerobic and anaerobic work, a combination of fitness work. Like I was basically doing everything that a whole lot of people are still doing and still not being able to lose any weight. So I was a group fitness instructor. So I was a fitness professional and I still couldn't lose any weight. And I pretty much guarantee you there are not only other people out there just like myself, but there are also people, maybe you're one watching this, where you're trying your very best, you're exercising a whole bunch, it's almost ruining your lifestyle because you've got to get up in the morning, go to the gym, or spend copious amounts of time at nighttime training just to try and lose any weight, but it's not happening. And then you end up just training and you just go to the gym just so that you don't put any more weight on. So where does this whole eat less and move more, talking about the quantity of your diet, really come to play? And realistically, the training can make the quality and the quantity of your diet worse. We all think about like being overweight as like someone, they've obviously clearly eaten too much and haven't exercised enough. We look at it almost as like a personality flaw, like you've decided that you're going to be bigger and overweight. It's not the case. We have different switches, we have different things going on up here and in here to cause you to make certain decisions. So this is why it's so important for you to control the intensity of your training, particularly if you are someone who has weight loss goals. If you have weight loss goals and you're going to the gym currently very regularly and you're not seeing some sort of weight loss and that's what you're actually after, a lot of the time the exercise that you are doing is making the diet side continuously harder than you need to make it. So what am I talking about? So even just working out at a slightly higher intensity on a regular sort of schedule is considerably bad for your body. So let's say that you have a specific goal to do exercise, whatever that exercise may be, to lose weight. Unfortunately, what we typically put together in the fitness industry is something that's fun, something that's high energy, and something that's going to keep you coming back. Now, to tick those boxes, you're not necessarily ticking your box, which is to lose weight. And for a class to be, or a session to be fun, it needs to be high energy, it needs to be engaging, which means that you need to bring up that heart rate, get a bit sweaty, and feel a little bit uncomfortable so that you get that adrenaline rush. So you get that lift of endorphin rush so that when you walk out that door, you feel fresh. You're like, oh, awesome, I've worked myself really hard. I can't believe I pushed even harder today. I'm sure that's going to guarantee some sort of results, whether that's performance or, namely speaking, weight loss. And then you jump on the scales the next day, in the coming days, and nothing happens. If you're training at the moment and you're being very, very regular with your training, what we typically see when people go to the gym all the time is you see a lack of specificity. So these classes, again, are revolved around a group setting, a fun setting, entertainment, energy. Yes, it's there to get you moving, but is it there to design you to get that weight loss that you're absolutely after? No, because it's designed to keep you coming back. Now, these classes and these enjoyment sessions that you're doing because you're trying to stick with the group and because it's a environment that you really like to be in, which I absolutely can grasp. So because they are high energy taxing, okay? It is going to have some sort of repercussion. Now, if you think about your general life, most likely you're someone who has a family, who has full-time work that needs to consider. And now, those are just two little things. I'm guessing you have a partner that you also need to make time for them. Like, everything requires effort and work. So does training, but you can do it in a way that's going to allow you to flourish rather than just get on another 8-week program or another 12-week program and just see the same old results. You'll see an incline of results because you're tunnel visioned in on this program, and then as soon as the program's over with, or the first meso cycle 6 to 8 weeks is over, you can't maintain it because you've forgotten about the other things that are happening in your life, your work, your family, your sleep, because you're too busy training and trying to lose weight. When you start to work out even just slightly too hard, okay, you get an adrenaline rush. Now, on the micro setting, on the moment, the present time, that's an absolute great feeling. There's no doubt about it. I remember when I was teaching my cycle classes, pushing ourselves as hard as we possibly could. You'd walk out completely drenched and sweaty, everyone would high five each other, and you kind of thought you did a really good thing for your body, and you'd obviously rock up and go back there the next day. Over time, increases in adrenaline can not only damage your blood vessels, increase your blood pressure, elevate your risk of heart attack or stroke, also result in anxiety, weight gain, headaches, and insomnia. So a high level of adrenaline, okay, is not necessarily always ideal. Although it's great in the moment, the after effects and your body's ability to deal with that over time, particularly if it's becoming chronic, is really, really bad on your body. And it's no wonder that there's so many people exercising all the time, still not able to lose weight, improve their life. Like, if you follow on anything that I do, I don't train a whole heap. And my fitness is only starting to shine for the right proper training to suit your lifestyle, to suit your goals, so that you're not wasting the 30 minutes, the 45 minutes, or the 60 minutes that you allocate for your training per day. So not only are these sessions are also high sugar burning, okay, so if we talk about two different fuel sources, we've either got carbohydrate burning, glycolytic burning, or we've got fat oxidizing, okay, so fat use. So we've got aerobic for fat, and we've got anaerobic for sugar. Now, there's a certain percentage of both that you will use, but what happens when you work out just slightly hard, okay, is that you're going to predominantly burn a higher level of sugar. Now, this has got nothing to do with fat loss, okay? We're talking about fat burning. There's two differences between these. Now, when you utilize a fuel too much, okay, namely speaking, let's say sugar, your body goes through what we call an energy crisis. So you've probably heard in a marathon term or an endurance term where, like, you've heard bonking, hitting the wall, okay? What that is an energy crisis. It's your body's ability to signal to you to say, hey, I'm running out of energy. You either need to give me some energy, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow you down, and your perceived effort and your perceived exhaustion goes all the way up, meaning that you just slow down anyway. And this is what's happening to the sessions that you're doing in the morning when you're working out as hard as you possibly can. You're firing on all cylinders, burning that sugar, creating higher levels of adrenaline like we're talking about, and burning that sugar. And then you go home and we wonder why we can't stick to our diet. By your body going through this process of energy crisis, meaning that your body thinks that you have less energy available because you can't burn fat, or the workout's not a fat burning zone, okay? You will find that your body will ask you to refeed or re-put in that fuel that you've just gotten rid of. So if we're talking about our glycolytic system, slightly anaerobic, you will burn more sugar than you will fat. That energy stores come down, your perceived effort goes up. Then as the day starts to continue, your body goes, okay, I want to refuel that back up again. I want to actually get my energy stores back up again. So it turns on cravings, it turns up ghrelin, it turns up your hunger. So if you're trying to diet and trying to eat less and move more, this makes it so hard. Motivation is not something that lasts. You cannot rely on it. This is why most programs are built around 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, reset this, blah, 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 is because anyone can get something out of you for a short period of time. But once motivation drops, you can only fight hunger so long. So if you continue to do these sessions that are just slightly too hard and you continue to burn sugar or glycogen within your muscles and depleting that energy, you're continuing needing to refuel it back up, and you have this overly desire to eat and to eat more. Now this is where it becomes very hard for you to eat less to try and lose some sort of weight. So your intensity for your training absolutely matters. Now, when we're talking about these highly stressful workouts, and again, depending on the person, because we all live such highly stressful lives anyway, it doesn't actually take much for the workout to become just slightly stressful. We get a chronic level of cortisol. Now, cortisol itself is significantly important to the body, but when we're going to have chronic level, I want to scare you away from the word cortisol, okay? So this is a very important hormone for a lot of different factors, but when we're talking about weight loss, if you've got a chronic level of cortisol, it's going to make it super hard for you to lose weight. If you have chronically high levels of cortisol, you can get an increase in cravings, an increase in energy need, meaning that you can't control how much that you need to or want to eat. Now, these cravings usually come across in high fat and high sugar, high carbohydrate meals. So if you're trying to diet, if your body's craving these things, high fat and high sugar, you couldn't think about a better combination for you to put weight back on again. High fat and high carbohydrate meals together combined in your mouth is highly palatable, highly caloric, and highly addictive, considering that most likely if you are overweight, you already have an issue with the quality and the quantity of your food, so it can make it worse. Again, you could track your calories all day long, but if you've got a higher level of cortisol producing this extra levels of cravings and food addictions because of the training that you're doing or the lifestyle that you're leading, can make it almost virtually impossible to stick to a calorie number or eat less and move more. Now, to be a little bit even more specific, okay, people that have endurance endeavors and that conduct endurance aerobic exercise, like running, like cycling, like triathlons, okay, we typically see this issue. High levels of cortisol, high levels of adrenaline, long sessions, huge calorie burns, but an inability to burn fat. And one of the major reasons is because what you're doing is you're constantly going through an energy crisis. It's like when you see people who are overweight and yet can't go out for a couple of hour ride or a run and need to use some sort of gels just to keep their energy going. You have plenty of energy on you, but it's locked away if you're doing the wrong things and eating the wrong things as well. So if you're looking to go back to the gym and you've been stuck in a rut for a little while, there are ways out, okay? You need to try and do something a bit different. And most likely it's not your work ethic, because if you've already been going to the gym for a considerable amount of time and you've been trying your very best, you're trying to track on MyFitnessPal, trying to eat less, you're trying to exercise as much as you can, you're trying to do all those sorts of things, but you just can't grasp the accumulation of results. Now, we could be talking about, again, fitness results without you burning out and dropping out or having a lack of motivation or willpower. Or the other side, looking at the diet. How do you sustain a diet that allows you to feel good, allows you to lose the weight, not necessarily just be driven by cravings and your desire and need to eat? Like, if you can't go 3 or 4 hours without a meal, there is something wrong with the way that you're doing things. Now, I was this guy, okay? So you need to remember this when you're watching this, because I can get stamped with just the guy talking about being overweight all the time and you need to do something about it, particularly if you're an endurance event. If you're carrying extra weight, well, then the first performance enhancement that you want to do is get rid of the weight. Then worry about all the athletic programs that you can do. The same thing when we go to the gym. Think about how many times you're going to go to the gym. Think about how many people go to the gym and don't necessarily see the weight loss that they're after. And they put those goals literally to the side, and we put fun and entertainment as the priority. If you are busy, if you have full-time work, if you have kids, that's your fun. Your family, your lifestyle is going to be your fun, and your training can be absolutely a part of that. But tick off your goals first. So if you have a goal of weight loss, if you have a goal of performance in endurance, making sure that you are in a body composition that allows you to perform at the best without necessarily burning you out, okay? Now, your training intensity is critical to this. Like I've just said over this whole video, if you've got a huge production of adrenaline, huge production of cortisol, it doesn't take much for those cravings to get the better of you. And we wonder why we can't stick to a diet, or we start throwing the everything in moderation back into it again. Okay, it's just a great way for you to have an excuse to eat junk food. Your ability to improve the quality and quantity of your diet, if you're looking for weight loss, can be extremely difficult if you do not control the training side of things. Most likely, we're already carrying too much stress. So if you're going to go to the gym and flog yourself thinking that soreness, fatigue, and tiredness after a session is going to allow you to have good training performance and results and weight loss, you got another thing coming. 2 hands up for me. I was the guy pushing people in classes, teaching body pump, Les Mills programs, cycle, giving everyone as much intensity as we possibly could. And to be honest, unless you were just starting within the class in the first 6 to 8 weeks that you'd see results, everyone, including myself, were just plateauing. We were getting up early to go and do these classes, and they were basically becoming a redundant source of energy calorie burning sessions. You want to do something. You want to get something out of your training. You want to make sure that the time that you're going to spend away from your lifestyle, away from work, away from your family, you're going to get up early for a particular reason to make sure that you're actually moving forward. Progression is the key to a lot of happiness. Living in a good, healthy body is a good key to happiness. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need help, if you want some help in regards to, you're thinking about everything that I've just said, reach out for a conversation. A call costs nothing. Thanks, guys.